Bosses of Reddit, have you ever fired someone and had them totally freak out? When I was a lead lifeguard at a large water park, this whole thing happened. We have this girl I'll call Beachy Brenda. Beachy Brenda always gave customers poop, and was a complete butthole to anyone who, God forbid, asked her a question, and more poopholery if your question was one she perceived as dumb. The managers/lead guards, me included among this group, knew she was like this, and the other guards knew she was bad. They hated dealing with her. At the very least, she was rude. At her worst, she would take 25 minutes to rote from one spot to the next, when it would take around 5 minutes to have one person on break rotate and have the cycle continue until the guy going on break was actually sitting on break. At least once a day, someone, somewhere, somehow, would get a report from a customer that she had been rude or condescending to a guest. She had been reprimanded once for calling a customer fat, illiterate, and retarded for not knowing how to sit in a tube, and having trouble. We were nervous to fire her, because our park required at least 100 guards to staff the park on any given day, and this year we had only 196 guards hired. We were, sadly, short and we had to keep her because there were so few others. Well, one day, she arrives about 45 minutes late, and since she is scheduled on that area, we have to compensate by adjusting the positions of the guards and removing people from non-necessary positions until a replacement can be found. When she does arrive, it turns out it's due to her wanting to get breakfast and coffee. I'm quite angry now. During that last hour, I've been trying to find a replacement to no avail. Well, she takes a position, and the rotation begins at its normal pace. At around 11:45, she's at the top of one of the rides, and this black family comes to the top of the ride and prepares to ready themselves. The ride, by its nature, requires a sort of mini lecture to learn how to ride, and the guards are trained to give this, to give a demonstration, and such. She apparently gave her spiel, and the family didn't understand because she had, as the family later told me, did a poop-tastic job at it. When they asked her politely to repeat it, she did, and then, before she was about to push the release button, she said, and this still shocks me to this day, effing Doomba SN words can't pay attention to a effing word I say. And then she, according to the guests, told me that she mocked my race by saying what I said earlier in this sort of ghetto accent. So this woman and her husband are effing livid, and apparently, the people in line are shocked. They exchange pleasantries, and the woman tells her that she's going to find the manager. Beachy Brenda replies, good. Do it. If you can find him. I don't give a F. It's one less group of morons I have to deal with. While this is going down, I am eating lunch with some of the lifeguards who are on the break rotation. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice one of the deep guards, those who man the pools and bodies of water over 4 feet, pointing me out to a large group of people. I get this gut feeling something has passed. I expect a signal, but the group approaches me. It's the family. Excuse me, are you the manager? I'm the lead guard. So yes. Can I help? What the F is the matter with that lifeguard up there? Do you know how racist she is? I'm sorry, I say. Right now my mind is beginning to extrapolate what the F could have possibly happened up there. Your lifeguard, Beachy Brenda, she called us retarded and the N-word. Yay man, that lifeguard is crazy. The father says. I facepalm. But now, I am done with this poop, and Beachy Brenda has crossed the effing line. It was one thing to be late, but this could get us sued for discrimination, and slander, and can ruin our reputation. I called Joseph, our park manager, to get down here right now, over the radio. She is getting canned, right now, so God help me. I have no real intention of asking any questions to this family. Joseph can do that if he wants. I trust these guests. This is exactly the poop I expect her to do. Listen ma'am, this is frankly unacceptable. Damn right it is. I've called our park manager and he, and I, are going to personally deal with this. We do not allow this kind of poop. I know you are mad, but you can rest assured that I am livid right now. Please stay here until we can get this settled. Joseph arrives with 2 security guards. He knows about Beachy Brenda, and has had more than his fair share of talks with her. He does not smile, but his demeanor is hidden, and I can sense he has secretly been waiting for a good excuse to fire her. So Joseph, the family, me and Robert, this lifeguard who has volunteered to cover for a bit, walk up to the top of the hill where the ride is. Brenda? Joseph asks. You want to tell us what happened? Oh look, you brought the manager. Brenda, Joseph says. What? Brenda says snidely nothing happened. These stupid people didn't listen. What you said was racist and unprofessional. We do not tolerate this kind of behavior. What are going to do? Punish me? No, we're past that stage. You've been terminated. Get out of the park. F you. This is the stupidest joke I've ever heard. You don't got the balls to effing fire my butt. No Brenda, this is for real. I say, you are one of the worst people I've had the pleasure of having to work with. You showed up late, have been rude to customers, have screwed up the rotations more times than I can count, and have refused to help guests with basic customer service. This park is done with you, and we no longer want you on the team. Right, I am the most bada-s lifeguard. I think I can safely speak for the other guards that you are not as loved as you think you are. Get out now. Robert is going to be taking your place, on his break shift I might add. Make me. Okay, one of the security guards says. Brenda, just get out before you make this worse for yourself. Robert says. You beaches don't have the balls. She says. Now, at this park, we had these big rental tubes that were essentially giant donuts, but about 5 feet across because we purposely overinflated them to ensure that they could handle the stresses of fat people and whatnot. But they weigh about 20 pounds and carry a lot of energy if they are tossed or thrown. Their bulk ensures that it can easily knock a person over, at the very least making them stumble. In the wave pools, they knock people over. Brenda grabs a rental tube that is lying nearby, where a family had set up a blanket and a picnic, and she twirls around and throws it and knocks Joseph over. Robert and I catch him before he falls onto the concrete, and the 2 guards stumble after her while scrambling to call the park police. She was caught 5 minutes later after she tried to get to her car in the employee lot. She was arrested for assault, battery and resistance of arrest. She never once came back, despite telling everyone while being arrested that she was going to find Joseph and me and beat us up so bad that we'd be in the hospital forever.